He looks
Hey,
so
good
excited.
afternoon, everybody. Tom Stewart here. I'm with Liz Trotter. Our guest today is Libby DeLucien, and this is Smart Business Moves.
Woo! All righty. I'm excited about this one, Libby. I know you got cool things in the works, and I'm excited to be here for it. Oh, hold on. I had somebody ask me, where's the link, Liz?
Oh, I was trying to share it, so I was looking for it.
You can go to Cleaning Business Today, Core Profit Builders, Made Central, Facebook pages. We're all streaming. We're streaming in the same YouTube channels.
Yeah.
I thought you said in Spain. It's like
No.
we're streaming in Spain.
Well, I mean, I think the internet works in Spain. I mean,
Yeah,
Maria's probably watching us right now.
Maria, are you here? I don't see anybody. Well, we got people.
Okay, I found it.
You found it? All right,
Yeah,
good.
I was sharing it. I was just trying to figure out which one from.
It's hard to find it on the computer. It's much easier on the phone. All right, so
But you know what I'm doing? You know what I'm doing right now? I'm getting rained on.
Oh,
you got our rain.
A weather event.
No, it's beautiful here. It's beautiful.
It was promoted as like biblical proportions.
Oh, wow.
Rain.
But not a hurricane.
It's the remnants of one. It kind of went up, past you guys, Libby. You didn't get into that, did you?
We got a lot of rain for 4 days. We were pretty much almost closed on Monday. Our cleaning company was, because our streets were flooded. But it was just tons and tons of rain. Yeah,
they've. I don't know. It's probably over 20 inches we've gotten so far, and it's still coming. They say it might get 30.
Wow.
Like in a week. Yeah, it's a lot. We've had, a lot of flooding. There's been a couple of roads that have actually, like erosion, have kind of washed out, that they're going to not be serviceable for a good while. Anyway, the wind's not blowing.
Joys of business, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I think it might be affecting. Am I frozen or?
Oh, don't tell me. You're
not frozen. You're good.
Okay. My electricity, the electricity, I'm working at the house, and electricity did go off for a bit earlier today. So if I disappear, it's not because I'm not interested. It's just I'm a victim of circumstance.
No, we don't want that to happen. All righty. So, Tom, we should tell everybody first before we dig in what we're doing next week.
You think we'll forget to sell something? Is that what you're saying? That we'll just do this and kind of.
You mean like we do 99.7% of the time? We're getting better.
We're just so into delivering quality content that we just forget about the other stuff.
It is true. All right. AI workshop.
Okay. Yeah. So
give us one teaser. What's one thing that we're going to learn in the AI workshop?
It's a long list of tools, kind of like rapid fire, that everything from HR to customer service to marketing to sales, tools that your entire support team can use to become more effective, more productive. But the really cool thing is, in the afternoon, we're going to build a bot, an AI bot, and you can train it with like your personnel manual or your cleaning procedures, and say, hey, what are the vacation days for this year? And presumably that's in your policy handbook. It'll spit that out to you, so you don't have to look for it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I am kind of really excited about that.
And then you can take that bot and you can put it on your website or put it on an intranet. And the idea is to just kind of broaden our thinking, because like at this point in time, if you're in some type of support role or leadership role in your house cleaning business, if you aren't using AI at least once a day, you're working harder and being less effective than you want to be.
And it is surprising how many people are still not using AI at all. Hey, Denise.
It's also surprising how many people use it horribly. Um,
Yeah.
and I mean, like when you see people's, and I'm not talking about cleaning companies, more like people's copy on social media and Facebook that,
Oh,
it was copy and pasted straight from AI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many different versions. All right, y'all. I thought this was a fun thing. So, the new Meta AI on Facebook, right? It's just automatically there. You can just type in there instead of searching for somebody or instead of making a comment. So I couldn't remember. I use it for my quick anything that I need super fast because I have my phone right here. Hey, Don. Hey, Tammy. And so today I was in a meeting and I could not remember the name of this guy that I watch on YouTube and that I love. And I wanted I wanted everybody to see him and I wanted to show him. I was like, oh, who is it? So I searched in Meta. I was like, who do I watch on YouTube that is really good, has a great personality and a lot of hair on his face and head? Y'all, Alex Ramosi pops up. I'm like, yeah, buddy, I love you right now, AI. And that's pretty good, right?
I think it was the lot of hair that gave it away.
I know. I was trying to tell everybody, oh, he's got a lot of hair. How do you not know who I'm talking about? And then he's got hair, long hair. And but I mean, you gotta give some credit there. How did it? I follow a lot of people. I watch a lot of people on YouTube. But actually, I got to be honest. It was the second answer. The first answer was The Bear. Do you watch that show? The Bear?
Never heard of it.
If you don't watch that show, you won't.
The guy with the restaurant?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that show. And he's got a lot of hair too. And I like him. I follow him. So, all right.
So what's going on after the AI workshop? What we got going on here?
Client Nurture Workshop. Yeah. So we're building out your Client Nurture program, or you're building it out. I mean, I have something for you to follow, but you're building out your own in your own voice, etc. And I'm sure you'll be using some AI tools to do that even more effectively and efficiently. And you're going to find a way to, we're just going to show you how to keep your clients longer. I mean, even if all you did was keep them twice as long as you're keeping them right now, what a huge difference. And the bigger your company is, the more impactful that is to your company, right? It's not just a little bit more money. You could scale your company just by doing that, right? Don't lose clients anymore.
No, just lowering your churn, even by 1%, can just be
huge.
Have such an impact on even your profit, your bottom line, because it's less we need to spend in marketing.
Yeah, we did a workshop earlier today on reducing customer churn. It was that's the Made Central core KPI of the month. So we did our core KPI webinar today, and yeah, whatever your monthly customer churn is, if you can just reduce that a little bit, the growth you get out of that, the lifetime value out of every customer you get, you can make a ton more money and don't have to sell anymore.
So crazy how that money just compounds and so quickly, right? So good. All righty. So that's what we're doing. And you're going to be live streaming August 14th. And I am also live streaming August 15th and 16th. We're in Michigan. We're at Lisa Shull's. If you haven't been there, now Lisa doesn't know this, but I just looked this number up. And Lisa has grown her company. And it's a larger company, y'all, like 96% year over year here, which is a fairly good growth for a bigger company. I think a lot of us would be very happy.
And you know what? If she were here, she would tell you she could not have done it without Made Central.
And Core Profit Builders.
And some pretty good coaching. Yeah.
She may have a pretty good team. She may be a pretty good leader. She's got a lot of good stuff going for her, right? But good company to go visit. Great.
Yeah, her office is great. We did a live event there about this time last year. Weather's great in Detroit this time of year, and there's a lot of good food. If you're in the area, you really need to come out.
Yes. All right. Let's get to the meat of the program today because I am excited for everyone to see what. Well, first,
Let's talk about WootRecruit for a minute.
well, let's
Libby,
talk about Libby first. How about intro Libby first?
yeah, Libby, you want to tell us about yourself? I mean, people know who you are.
Oh, we always have some new people.
Do we?
Yeah.
Who are they?
Yeah.
Who
People
are
that are not even in our industry. We do have those people. I don't know if we do right
Okay.
now, but
Okay.
we have a good chunk of people watching live right now.
It happened.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yay. Well, if you guys don't know who I am, my name is Libby DeLucien for our listeners. I own a cleaning company. We have 3 locations. And I own WootRecruit, which we do recruiting for not exclusively for the cleaning industry, but we were created by a cleaning owner for cleaning companies. We now do recruiting for that high turnover industry like lawn care, commercial cleaning, and residential cleaning. And I'm a mom, wife. I have 3 kids. I don't know. I think that's it.
No, one more thing.
Oh, and I'm a coach for Debbie inside of CBF. I'm trying to think. I made it very simple.
Well, you're also
I also own Service Cart. I forgot about that software. It's the ugly stepchild right now because for all of the business owners out there that like we have other aspirations of starting another business, doing something else. I know you guys all have it. You have to remember that there's always an ugly stepchild or a middle child that gets ignored when you have multiple ventures. And if you're a middle child, I apologize. But I always say that one of them is kind of always, and then it depends on which one needs urgent help. And then that's what I focus on. And then I take my attention off another one because we cannot pay attention to everything. We can't give 100% of us to everything.
Yeah, to 100% of the stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So how about this, Libby? Tell us something about you personally that maybe not everybody knows. It doesn't have to be a deep, dark secret or anything, but how about something that maybe not everybody knows?
It could be though. I mean, we're open for anything.
Probably something that everybody doesn't know is owning a cleaning business was not my first venture in entrepreneurism. I've always been an entrepreneur, never been a W-2 in my life.
Oh,
yeah. So a lot of people see me come, like when I came into the industry in the cleaning industry, I was fairly new. Like my cleaning company is 6 years old because I started it right when I had my daughter. So it's fairly new. But when I came in, people were like, wow, like you've grown so fast. But I had entrepreneur background. I've owned multiple businesses, but probably the largest one was I owned a bar, a high grossing martini bar in Ybor City in Tampa.
Oh, wow.
So a lot of people don't know that. It was a very, very popular place. It was a very, very interesting, fun, and agonizing experience. Because if you think we have employee issues like in home service, try owning a bar. And it was, you think that it's like, oh, it's the American dream to like own your own business, especially like bars or restaurants. And someone said it the other day, it's like an American nightmare instead of the American dream. It taught me so much, but it was such hard work. You're talking about like 18-hour days because you're open till 4 a.m. You have to reopen again at 10. That doesn't include like cleaning and prepping. And with the bar industry, the theft is so high. And I was young. I was in my 20s that, I didn't have SOPs and playbooks made yet. We were just figuring it out. And, theft is high, whether it's employees stealing cash, liquor, customers asking them to over pour. I mean, hey, like pour me a better drink.
Yeah. I didn't even think of that. Yeah.
Yep. There's just so many ways to steal. It was hard to leave. So you're tied to it even more so than say like my cleaning company when I first started it. It was a very interesting experience. So everything since then has been very like, oh, this is easy. Like, oh, this is nothing. I'm not dealing with the ATF in my cleaning company, maybe OSHA, but not the ATF.
So
regulations.
if you're gonna do something entrepreneurial, start with owning a bar, and everything else after that is easy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's easy. I know way more about alcohol and liquor than any normal human being should know.
Huh.
But
Yeah.
I do love that. I didn't know that about you. And it really makes sense about why you don't seem as, thrown off by employee issues. As many people in our industry are like, oh my gosh, this is like, it's impossible. This industry is crazy. Blah, blah, blah. But for you, you're more like, yeah, not so much, y'all. Our employees aren't drunk. They're not getting on the job.
Not every day.
Not every day, not all the time, or at least they're not supposed to be.
Yeah.
But you're right, because in the night scene in the hospitality industry, when it comes to like bars and restaurants, you're dealing with a lot of issues because people are working till 4 or 5 in the morning
Yeah.
that we don't deal with during day shifts in home service.
Yeah, so many. I don't know if you saw this. I popped it up real quick, popped it off again real quick. Jennifer Tangeman, maybe? She loves Ybor.
Tigman, yeah, she loves Ybor.
Yeah, that's cool. So she actually knows.
Well,
That's
Ybor is a popular area in Tampa, downtown Tampa.
Okay.
It's known for its historic. So it looks like a mini, like New Orleans, Bourbon Street is what
Oh,
it's known
fun.
for. Yeah.
All
And
right.
there's one other thing about you, Libby, that we haven't shared yet. You're going to be presenting at the ISSA show in November of this year.
Yes. I'm super excited. Love the ISSA show. I actually love being able, I sit on the council for ISSA. I forgot the word. I sit on council for ISSA residential. I love being a part of it. It's new to me. This was my first year really sitting on council. It'll be, I think, my 3rd or 4th year attending, my 3rd year participating, speaking. But for our cleaning business owners, it is a really great show to go to. The residential section.
Oh, she froze up a little.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. She also freezes well. You see that? That's some pretty freezing right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tom, you freeze well too. You're not as animated as I am. Y'all know Liz does not freeze so nicely. There you go.
I'm like,
You're
did
back.
we freeze?
You're back.
Okay. For those that follow me know or seen my original playbook talk, and that talk came out before AI was around, or ChatGPT. AI has been out here for a long time. And I have a whole new framework for creating micro playbooks in your company. And I'm going to be teaching on that at the ISSA show in November. And I'm super excited because I'm in the middle of writing a book on how this process can change your personal and professional life, because we even use this process inside our home.
Oh, nice.
So it's not just for companies, and AI is great, and it will give us, that micro playbook. But what I discovered through,
You're gonna hold on. Sorry, you're gonna have to define micro playbook.
So micro playbook is a new version of a playbook, because what I saw when people were using AI or trying to create playbooks, they were like anywhere from 3 to 5 to 15 page SOPs. Like, who's going to follow that?
Yeah.
So I have a specific framework we're calling it like the TikTokification of playbooks.
Oh, cool.
They're micro playbooks. There's certain parameters that it has to follow, and the way it's laid out. So we've taken it to more bite size, because like cognitively our attention span is shrinking by the day.
Yeah.
But then I found that, we can use the AI to help us make them. But the real struggle is, where do you house them and organize them, and how do you distribute them? So we're going to dive deep into those topics. The book is all about this, but I'll be presenting like a light overview at ISSA of how you can kind of get a jump start on doing this for your business and your home.
When's the book coming out, Libby? Because it sounds like you're telling us, yeah, you need to come to ISSA. You need to know about it, get prepped, be ready. But the book is the deal.
Yeah, I want
The
to.
book
Where
is
do
the
I sign
deal.
up
I know.
for?
Like, can I pre-order?
Yeah.
Yeah, where do I sign up for pre-order?
So I'm hoping it's Q1 of 2025. I will say that the book writing process is it's exhausting. We've been writing since April. I hired the writer, or I got the writer that wrote Dan's book, Buy Back Your Time. So we are going to be the phase before buy back time, because we're kind of like, if I don't have money to buy back my time yet, and if I just go out and hire a bunch of people, they're going to be inefficient. And we know that inefficiencies cost us profit, right? It comes down to our bottom line. So what are some of the steps I can do to create some efficiency in my business so I can afford to buy back my time, so I can afford to hire, right, a personal assistant or a VA, those crucial hires I need to grow. So we're basing it on that, and then we're also using this framework for people that I've coached personally, how this can change your life. And we've done some testing. It's been great in households to create micro playbooks for teenagers, husband and wife, spouses, on like simple things like what happens if the power goes out in our house. And they've been absolutely amazing. We left a house sitter at our house for 2 months, and they were able to run our entire house without asking us a question for 2 months and take care of our dogs. So I'm super excited about it, because first I used it to help me grow and scale, organize it, and then WootRecruit. And
Is
then
that
we were
a company
like,
that you didn't bother mentioning before, Libby?
I said I have a cleaning company. I just didn't call it by name.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you just didn't name it. That's true.
Yeah. And then we've used it in our home now for a while, and it's really changed our life. It's created the freedom, scalability, and flexibility we all crave as entrepreneurs to kind of go seek some of those other ventures to get some time back.
So what are you sharing with us today? Sorry, Tom.
No, that is it's exciting. I can't
Sounds
wait
really
for the
good.
book to come out.
Yeah, I wasn't kidding about the pre-order.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So we're working on the book launch. Like I said, this is like one of the most, it's like opening another business to write a book.
Oh yeah.
The writing, the launch, the strategy. I'm already tired, and we just started. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so much work and so much money. Like the strategy, the launch, getting it ready, preparing. It's a lot of effort, but I'm excited.
Yeah, I am too.
And 2025 will be here before you know it.
Do you have a
Sounds like
title?
long
I
time,
know.
but it's not.
Do you have a title yet?
Not
Or
yet.
working title?
We're
No?
working through it. We have a few in mind. We're working through it.
Okay.
Yes.
Who's we?
The writers. So the team of writers that we have. So there's 3 people that help me every week. We get together and we write. Well, I talk. They prompt me. I give them access to all my Google Drives, everything, so that they can go and kind of extract all that information out.
Okay. Yeah, it does.
You mentioned Dan, Buy Back Your Time. You're referring to Dan Martell,
Yes.
the founder of SAS Academy.
Yeah, we were in SAS Academy together, and we didn't even know that, me and Tom.
Yeah.
Y'all need to network better. Come on now.
Well, I saw his picture in the thing, and I was like, are you at SAS Academy? In the Facebook group.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah. It's a great,
right.
it's a great group. Love that group. I've learned so much from Dan. But he's not in there anymore.
I'm not in there anymore. I can't be everywhere and do everything. I have to pick my battles. So I'm
Exactly.
taking a sabbatical from SAS Academy.
Nice. Yeah, I'm reviewing my calendar now, getting ready to take a sabbatical from a few things.
Yeah.
My to-do
Can't
list.
do everything. You just can't.
No, you can't.
Doesn't make sense. Yeah, that's not a smart business move, trying to do everything.
Nope.
No. All right. So, Libby, what are you going to share with us today?
Well, I did not bring a presentation.
Oh, that's
Because
okay. I didn't figure you would.
Oh, I was going to say the presentation is going to be at ISSA.
Yeah.
So if you want to see the presentation and get the tools, the prompt, because I'll be giving away the AI prompts and some of the frameworks on how to create the micro playbooks. I can also give you the tools and prompts to create the full size playbooks, but in reality, ain't nobody going to read those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And why, when the micro playbooks are getting the job done? Why overcomplicate? Why make things harder than they need to be?
No, and what we learn is that no one's going to read the playbook before they need it. right?
Mhm.
So they're
Yeah.
going to read it when they need it. So what micro playbooks, they're created for rapid execution because when we looked at how they were made, we noticed that no one's just going to go study them. They're looking them up because they need a solution. So we've used a lot of theories. I use some of my organizing background. So all the micro playbooks are created with a 1-layer deep concept made for rapid execution for the right person at the right time, delivered in the right way.
Define 1 layer deep for us.
1-layer deep is a concept I started when I started organizing, and then Chris uses it, my husband, within WootRecruit for creating frameworks. But it's to get to the solution can only be 1 layer away. So it's 1 layer deep. So when I would organize people's houses, I could create the most beautiful looking space, closet, filing system, you name it. But if you had multiple steps to get something, most likely you're not going to look for it or put it back in the right spot, especially if you have children or a short attention span. So what we did was we did 1 layer deep, where if you wanted to put something away, it needed to be just 1 step away. So 1 layer deep inside of a playbook is if you're asking your employees to do something like call a number, email this. An example is one of our micro playbooks is for our cleaning technicians. What happens if I get in my car and I have a flat tire? Well, inside of our micro playbook, we give them 1-click solutions to AAA, the office. So they don't even have to look for AAA's number. They don't even have to look for the solution. It's 1 layer deep to the answer.
So it says do this right here. Do this right here. Nice. Okay. I love that. So you were talking a little bit about some of the stuff that you're using in your personal life, Libby. Can you give us some examples? Like what are you doing in your personal life? How's that working out?
For the micro playbooks?
Yeah.
Great. So we did some testing on them. We'd already created a few, but we use them right now for how to take care of the dogs, right?
Okay.
We have 2 dogs, how to take care of our yard, how to take care of our pool properly. So the micro playbooks fit inside the playbook, right? The playbook is imagine sports, and you have like a defensive playbook and an offensive playbook, and the micro plays go inside. And the reason they also come in handy is, well, one, if we hire an outside service, hire a lawn service, they're gonna know, we can give them these links to these playbooks to know the nuances of our lawn. Like, hey, there's a power cord running through the yard, don't run over it. Or some of the things about our pool that may be, you know how we ask in our cleaning company if there's like any booby traps in your house, like is there anything that if we touch it, it's going to fall over?
Yeah.
So these playbooks we found help whether you have teenage children, whether a husband makes them for a spouse, a wife that maybe they don't know how to do certain things. If, you know, the power goes out, how to work the breakers. A great example is our water system here is a little bit finicky. And so when we left, for a trip, we left our 16-year-old here. So when the water stopped working, he used the micro playbook to figure out how to turn the water back on.
Nice.
Okay. So they work in all aspects of your life. It just depends on how much freedom you want to have. You know, when we hired a house helper, they were amazing because the house helper didn't need any assistance from us. They had all the playbooks to really figure out how the house operates, schedule for the kids, how things work.
Okay. It does sound like it's a lot of work though to put one of these together, right?
So
it is.
How often do people in your home refer to those playbooks? I mean, or is it, you know, every time you got to feed the dog, or your kids like breaking that out, trying to, you know?
No, it's just like in business. Once our employees know it and remember it, they don't need to refer back to it. But if they don't do it, we can hold them accountable because we know they have the tools to do it properly, right? We know they have the resources to look up how to do it. And a great example is, you know, we had to fly Austin out. We left for the summer. We flew Austin out to us, and our house sitter had to leave for a few days. So we just asked one of my son's teenage friends to come in and take care of our dogs. We gave him the playbooks. Here's how you do it. So, when you want freedom in life, you need to have that ability to even scale your own home. If you want that freedom, we traveled for 2 months and it was absolutely amazing because we didn't have to do anything in our own house.
And so it sounds
All of
like there's kind of two uses. One
Mhm.
is for the things that you do kind of that have to be done regularly, but somebody new might come in and
Yep.
need to know how, and they might not have all the info. So one use. And then the second use sounds like for things that are kind of one off. They're not going to
Yep.
happen
So,
often enough that you know how to do it.
and it's the same way in our business, right? If we hire new
Right.
employees, they're going to need those often because they don't know. And then a seasoned employee won't need them as much, but maybe they're going to do something that's a one-off, like the dog ran out of the house while I was cleaning and I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Which doesn't happen very often, but it does happen. And they can refer back to those things. So it's exactly the same way we would use it in our business.
Okay.
And
Cool.
some of your playbooks will be static and some of them will be living. Right? Static means it doesn't change. That process is static. It's not going to change. It's pretty engraved. Where living means there may be an evolution to that playbook because it can change over time. Like the kids' schedule isn't going to be a static playbook.
I
Got
got
it.
you.
Okay.
All right. Well, you brought up a really good point there, though, or brought up a really good question in my mind. So, one of the problems that I see a lot of businesses run into is they create all of their playbooks,
Mhm.
right? And then they kind of check out. And then 2 years later, every single playbook is out of whack,
Outdated.
outdated. They're not
Yes.
doing it anymore. Nobody's
Mhm.
following them. How does your program address that, or does it, or the book?
Yes, it does. So that's actually addressed in the book because remember I said what I found was, people would make all these playbooks, but then I would hear, I have that somewhere, but I don't even know where it is.
Yeah.
Or they make it and um, we just had a dog run out an hour
Sorry,
ago.
Tammy. Too bad you didn't have micro playbook.
Yeah.
Well, or they make it and they can't find it, or the technicians can't digest it because it's made on a Google Doc and they can't get it on a cell phone. So it does address it. One of the things that we're launching when we launch the book, we already do it now for a few people, is a new software that's going to come out where we're going to ask you the top 100 questions for your business and make the playbooks for you, the micro playbooks for you. We're going to house them, distribute them, and organize them and make sure that they're updated. So that is a new software that is coming out.
Ooh, that updating. That's nice. Yeah.
Yes. So there are ways to do it, whether you're doing it in a Google Sheet. I have some frameworks to help you. You can use Google Sheets, but I hate Google because it's like the dark, dark place where everything goes to die.
The hardest part
Because
about, go ahead.
I was just saying, it's just because people's Google Drives get so disorganized and it's a disaster. And the way Google search works is it just pulls up like everything versus like things that are just in a file or shared drive. So you don't know if it's relevant, if it's new, if it's old. And so it makes it really hard to organize things properly, but we can't also distribute them properly from a Google Drive.
Yeah, it's tricky. We did find we actually have a brand new tool, which is awesome, that you give the link to people and they have access to their copy only, no matter what. So even though it's just one link, it's brand new, right? That's never
Nice.
been a thing. And so easy. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. We're going to be,
This is a whole nother product, not related to Google.
yeah. But I got off on a tangent because it's brand new to us for like 3 hours ago. Sorry.
Hey,
It's okay.
We're covering a lot here. Libby, did you mention or maybe allude to that you're working on a SaaS product to support this? Okay.
Yep, a SaaS product to support it. It's the product's already made for Organize It. I have worked on it for years and I've had it. The product is nice because it's going to be made, right? The simulation part. If I'm making a playbook for a technician, how they're going to be reading it versus my sales rep are two completely different ways. And most people just make a playbook for like one type of consumer. right? One person, one type of person consuming it versus if we're making it for a technician, they could literally be in a master shower with their phone reading it.
Yeah.
And if they're a salesperson, they could be on a live call with a lead. So they need to be made properly so that they can be consumed in the right way.
Never would have thought of that.
And that's why your playbooks are not getting used.
Okay. So part of the process, and I guess we go to Vegas, we'll probably hear something about this, is you have to consider your audience and who you're building, who the user is, and that will influence how. So are there some canned kind of, if you're a salesperson, this is the format. If you're a field technician, here's the format.
Yeah. So there's variations to the format and how it's delivered, but also how it's laid out for
if you're the spouse or the child, are there different formats?
For the child, because so we're making some for Yaya and because she's 6, so there's a different format. But definitely different format for like a technician. Also the interface, the UI is different for a technician because they're going to be using it on a phone versus a office person will be using it on a computer.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. It seems
so
like
UI is the user experience, that user experience. Sorry if anyone didn't know what I was talking about.
I'm pretty good at making people define stuff, and that slipped right by me. Good job. Went right past. So like we have a list of, I think there's like 220 different questions that a cleaning professional might ask. So I would have a different micro playbook for each one of those, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering how to keep those like the same way. Like how do you find those? Is that like a large piece of the process? Because finding them is.
Yes, that's the organizing, housing, and distribution of them. Right? Distribution means, are we talking about them all the time? Every Friday, I put out a video to the organizing staff, and I always link one of the new playbooks in it, or a playbook, or like a refresher of, hey, don't forget this is a dusting tip, linking it back. So we're always just distributing them. We're always talking about them, and they're always deliverable to them. As far as organizing and housing, that's where I found everyone's biggest issue is. Anyone can make a playbook using AI, right? Anyone can really gather those things. And what we found was over time that's the hardest part is the organizing of them. And then where do we house them? Where do we put it? Like so many of my cleaning business owner friends have like tried Trainwell and they're like, that didn't work. Tried certain things and they didn't like it. So, I'm going to dive in at the ISSA show of giving you some frameworks of how to do it yourself. Like softwares aside, how can you manage this yourself so that's a little bit easier for some of the smaller cleaning companies, or if you don't want to invest yet in a software, which I don't think you should invest right away. I'm always an advocate of first making sure you have your stuff written down, documented, then find the software that fits your solution instead of conforming to the software solution. And we found that people have such a hard time with the organizing part so that your technicians can find it, your sales reps, right? Your office manager, or even for like vendors, we have certain things that we want to give to vendors on how we operate or what we do, or our vivid vision goes to our vendors. And how can they find those as well?
So at the heart of this, or at least part of this, is you have to have a playbook.
Yeah. I have a playbook. I've never said that, but yes.
When things change, I mean, you talked about, some are living and some are static. In reality, most things are living. They just maybe change more than others because everything changes in time from, how the tax rules work to what software you're using to do what, to how the software works.
One of the biggest
pattern, everything changes.
Things I've seen in people would make playbooks relevant to their software, but what if the software updates? They don't know which playbooks had software in it, like which ones did they mention the software in it, so they could go back and edit those. Or if they change software, say like they stopped using something, maybe they were using like Sotellus and they went to Applause for tips. I think those two do a tips. But if you incorporate any software into your playbooks, you have to mark that in the organizing part of it, so that you know if you make an edit or the software makes an update, those need to be adjusted.
Also has to be done. Yeah.
But, and part of that, I guess, from a business standpoint, and I'm sure your book will touch upon this, and probably talk about this some in Las Vegas. Well, is the culture. I mean, I've struggled with this over the years. It's like something changes and we kind of work around it, but it's like, why didn't we go back and change the procedure, the playbook, the work instructions, whatever the case might be? So how do you develop a staff that embraces the idea of something changed, we need to go back and change the playbook?
I would say you have to lead by example, just like everything else. You
God,
have to
Libby,
lead by example.
Crap, that's where
worst answer.
that never works.
I have to change something? Darn it.
So no, you don't have to do it. You have to talk about it. Talk about it. We need to stop answering the same questions over and over and over, document them, and then empower our people to then edit and update them. But if we keep doing it, or we keep answering that question or doing that workaround, we're going to pay for it at the end when we have to hire new staff, onboard new people. It will create inefficiencies, and then we'll turn around one day and we're going to ask our question while everyone's cleaning a house different. Why is everyone answering the phone in a different way? And we cannot hold them accountable because we haven't documented it, or the documentation is outdated. So we can't be mad at them. It all comes back to us.
So I feel like the outdating thing is what happens more than not being documented, right? Most people have the stuff, but then, or not most people, a lot of people will have the stuff, and then they're like, whoo, done. And then they walk away. And then, like I said, it's a train.
So we have a cadence for it. So within creating playbooks, we do, it's actually a giant process. The micro playbook itself is the smallest part. So when we're coming in and helping companies, we're doing a time audit. We're doing a day in the life of interview. We're looking at your org chart and the way it's set up, because who's responsible for doing these? We're not setting it up for you. We're looking at how's it set up. And from there, we're doing those time audit sheets. We're doing a day in the life of interview, and we're capturing all this information so that we can then create a perfect week for the role, right? For your sales role, for your CSM. What's that perfect week look like for the business owner as well? And within there, we have the cadence of updating. The reason they don't get updated most of the time is because we didn't make time to update them. So they need to be audited on the regular until they're about 90% done. And then once they're like 90% done, you can audit on a monthly basis until you get them 100% of the way. And then you can go to annual, like you can annually audit them. If once a year,
just get on a schedule, and
you get on a schedule.
I find that the reason why they don't get changed is not because we're lazy. It's because it never occurs to us to change it, because I already know how to do it. And it changes in micro pieces, right? Like tiniest piece. So I answer the phone. We're always answering the phone the same way, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden we have a special, and somebody said, oh, you should announce that special when you answer the phone. Oh yeah, let's do that. So they start answering the phone like that. Nobody thinks to go back and change how you answer the phone. They just don't think of it.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden we're answering the phone a different way.
Or how many times do we go somewhere and learn something and we're just like, oh my God, that's great. Let's incorporate it. And we tell our office like, hey, we want to start doing this. We tell them that. They do it for a few days and then they don't do it again. And then we're like, why aren't you guys doing this? Well, we didn't update anything. We didn't hold them accountable. Yeah. Within those micro playbooks, some of them will have KPAs attached to them, and checklist as well, depending on, a great example is WootRecruit account managers. They have micro playbooks with weekly checklists that have to be submitted. And so we know if they're following the playbook because there's a checklist within it. So then are they following the steps? Because you're going to get some of the audits back, and you're really going to have a pulse on, is it relevant? Is it current? Are they following it? Because the power of software, we can kind of track as much as we want, but it's just really that accountability and holding that KPA to it. It's a KPA so Tom will like this. KPI is the key performance indicator, right? But if we're trying to achieve something, a KPA is already the result. Like it's already too late to fix it. It's done.
Key performance action?
Action. It's a key performance action that's associated to what we're trying to achieve in the KPI. In the KPI.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So do you do audits? I mean, are you recommending that companies self-audit?
I do audits. I spend some time in the mornings with coffee auditing stuff.
For your own business. I mean, but is this a service you offer to others?
For other people?
Oh, no, I don't audit other people's stuff.
Oh.
Okay.
No.
So Libby,
not yet. That's an
I
opportunity.
have too much to audit in my own world.
Yeah. She doesn't have enough going on, Tom. You're going to throw
it easier than running a bar.
Yeah.
So, and for the longest time, I hated auditing things. I hated like numbers and auditing and looking at calls and call logs and everything from looking at the books and I found that to get that, for me, to get a true understanding of what was going on if I wasn't in the day-to-day anymore, and to figure out what was working and wasn't working, I had to really fall in love with those numbers to auditing, like really auditing and going through things.
We are going to be teaching something at ARCSI, at the show, at the convention.
ISSA Residential, ISSA show, Las Vegas, November.
Yeah. For managers that managers can do that are going to help out the owners. I mean, we have 10 things that your managers don't know. And one of them ties directly into this. So I'm thinking about that's kind of interesting how that's going to play out. But I have a question. So let's say we go to convention. Of course we are. And Tom, I know you're going to be in this class. So am I. When is it, Libby? What day? What day are you presenting? What day are you presenting at convention?
I don't know.
You don't know yet?
I don't. Well, I do know, but
I'm looking it up. Look at the answer.
This is going to sound funny. I have an assistant and I only hold as much as I need to hold in my brain in the current moment. And she takes care of everything in the future.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. Yeah, I do the same thing. I don't know the answer to tons of questions as well. All right. So let's say we go to, because we'll be there. I'll be there for sure. Are you going to be giving us the structure? Are you going to be giving us how to, like you had mentioned, the housing and then the structure? Are you going to be giving us something that tells us how to do that? Are you going to teach us how to do it? And
I mean, I only got like 20 minutes, so there's not going to be, I think it's only 25 minutes. I'm not sure how long they are, honestly. Maybe
some
it's
of them
30.
are longer. Some you have an hour, but
to teach this properly, I did it in a 90-minute workshop, right? Bring out your computers. Let's play with the prompt. Let's create the sheet. I have an hour. Look at that.
An hour. Yeah, you can give us a little bit more, Libby.
So with this, I'm going to be giving you guys the prompts and some frameworks, like how to organize them, how to keep track of them. Yeah, I'm going to be giving that stuff
organized piece. Yay. I'm excited. We're going to get the organized piece. That was like, because if you can't organize in my brain, if I can't even figure out how to organize, I don't want to create it. I was like, it's just going to be a whole jumble of stuff that's in the same boat that I'm already in, right? I need to organize it. So I love that. I'm excited. And you do have an entire hour. Yes. You're not a slacker, like you don't talk really slow or anything. So I got to
slow down. I go way too fast.
All right. I'm going to put it on my calendar Tuesday at 1. I'm excited. About that. All right. What is the...
Well, first, I want to say I love your idea about what managers don't know. That's a great topic. One of the biggest issues we have in WootRecruit is the misalignment between owners and office managers, right? The office manager's like, shut the recruiting down. And the owner's like, why do we not have any interviews? And we're like, they told us to shut it down.
So much.
And like the goals are not even aligned.
No. You know what? How many of the managers that are in my manager circle, when they come, they don't know what the goals are.
Yeah.
100%.
And I would say it's probably the owner's fault. It's probably our fault, right? The visionary fault.
It's always our fault.
It's always our fault.
It is.
Yes.
But one of the things we did in WootRecruit to really help that was we did a weekly account audit where we're delivering the KPI, you're hiring KPIs to your door, done like with a silver bow on it, to the manager and the owner, right?
Oh, I love that. It's going to both. Nice.
It's going to both to help create some of that alignment and the health of the account. Is it within budget of spend? Just like here's some things that they could do. And also like what part of the product is the office not using was a big one, because sometimes maybe office staff isn't using it the way it's supposed to. Maybe they weren't onboarded right, but because maybe the owner got onboarded or is using the software. And it's meant to show each other where the software is not being used to 100% to its fullest. But that has been really good in creating alignment for the owner and the office manager, delivering those KPIs to them.
Yeah, that does sound good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that. That misalignment issue is just running rampant in our industry. And it's so sad how many times I'll have an owner that they're the problem. They haven't given the information. They haven't gotten the alignment set up. They haven't done any of that. And they're telling me that it's a bad manager. Like,
Yeah.
It's not the situation at all. Like, you have not set this person up for success in any way, shape, or form. And I promise you're going to go through manager after manager after manager, and you're going to keep having the same problem. Usually they have to go through about 5 before they're like, I wonder what's going on. Why?
It can't always be them. Like eventually it has to be me.
No, a lot of times, even at 5, they're still thinking, I don't know why this position is so hard to hire. They start thinking they have to change the position. I guess the job's just too hard. I need to, y'all know.
Yeah.
Come on now.
And,
Come on now.
and is it fair to say that's a lot more the rule than it is the exception?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To do it right is a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. And there's a time investment as well, right? I mean,
oh yeah.
You have to, yeah. Well, owners are always trying to do less. They hire people so that they can check out more, but they check out too soon and for too long.
Because they waited too long and they're burnt out and they're trying to run away. Right. And they're just, they're done. And so stop and make your micro playbooks and then listen to Liz.
Yeah. I mean, I love this. I'm loving this idea of having the micro playbooks. And I think it's going to be even more, and what I'm thinking of how I'm going to be pushing it on my people, so I'm going to be pushing it more on the managers than on the owners. I mean, the owners need to have them, absolutely need to embrace the system, but the managers are the ones that are going to have to keep up on them. They're going to have it as part of their playbook, is going to have to be to use.
It's going to have to be part of their perfect week schedule.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm loving this idea. I cannot wait. Really wish you had a title, Libby. Really wish you had a launch date. Really wish you had a pre-launch sign up. Why won't you take my money, Libby? Darn.
You know how many people have asked me to do this for them, like build the whole thing. And
of course. Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I don't want to.
It's that much work. Yeah. It's a lot of work. I can see that. I know somebody that was starting to go down this path. She was creating that people could buy, plug in, and then they wouldn't have to do anything. And she fairly quickly was like, yeah, no, that is like too much. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yes.
So I'm really excited.
But if the team owns the process and you create the culture, it can kind of, I mean, it's a lot for one person to do it for a lot of different companies. But if the
Oh
companies
yeah.
are doing it themselves, it is a manageable process.
No, and once it becomes part of the day to day, the regular, it's no harder than anything else. That's like saying,
Mm-mm.
oh, you know what? We can't really have our people clean showers. You don't understand. They're really hard to clean. No?
Oh, or it's like saying, oh, you know what? We don't have time to do any recruiting or hiring right now. We're just too busy. So let's turn it
Busy.
off.
All right. So talk to me when you don't have enough people to clean and you're telling me that, yeah, my quarter was short. We didn't meet our goals because we didn't have enough people to do the work. If we
3
would have
people
had enough
quit at one
people,
time.
yeah. If we would have had enough people, we could have just slayed.
But if you don't have time to recruit, you might want to give Libby a yell or go to WootRecruit.com. This will make you more efficient, more productive.
Actually,
You
and
in-
cheaper than you doing it yourself,
yeah.
right? If you're paying your office manager to look at Indeed, to look at applications, to schedule interviews, that's about 8 to 10 hours a week for $1 million company versus we're much cheaper and more efficient.
And you integrate with Made Central.
And we integrate with Made Central. So we can zap those hires right over to Made Central.
And you have a lot of data about what does work and what doesn't. This is
I haven't even released that yet. That
Wow.
is pretty new. We've been working on the data, so we actually already have it. What is the industry best, industry standard for residential cleaning, commercial cleaning, lawn care? We have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of companies' data that we've collected, and we're going to start now teaching on what is the industry norm for a show rate, for clicks, for applies. What is industry norm for no shows? Is this normal or am I horrible? Also, what's industry best? Some of the industry best companies are killing it with like an 80% show rate. You know, they're absolutely crushing it, seeing revenue numbers they've never seen before. So we are finishing up the very last of this data, this dashboard that we've created with the data. It's super powerful. If you're a WootRecruit customer, you've already seen the start of it because of that weekly email audit. You're getting that data already every week in your weekly email of your own company. But we're collecting it across all of our home service companies and then segmenting it into industry.
Tom, you do this with Made Central, and I know that it is ridiculously popular. That with all the 12 KPIs.
Core KPIs, we benchmark them and talk about what quartile the companies are in and
People love
what are
it.
some of the common characteristics between high performing companies. Yeah, we do that.
Yeah.
And
how popular is that? I mean,
It's very
everyone
popular.
loves that. Not
You know.
pretty popular. It's ridiculous. People are gonna be ridiculously happy with that, Libby.
well,
We're
we can
doing-
also tell them because when we give advice, people just are like, well, I want to do it this way. But we can now look at a metric and say, this is broken. This right here is broken. You have an issue with this. We
Yeah.
need to fix this. Because then there's no assuming the data is doing the talking.
So good.
We do a 3-day workshop from time to time. We're doing one in September in Charleston. That's kind of what this is about. We talk about the core KPIs and where you are and where you could be, and these are the things that you need to do to get there. And we have a model where you can plug them in to see what your business would look like months in the future if you're able to achieve the things that you aspire to achieve.
Yes, we kind of have the same thing, but for recruiting. And our purpose is to really focus on profitability, because we know that if we hire wrong, it hurts our bottom line. It hurts the profit when you hire wrong over and over and over.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a major way. We are at the top of the hour. How did this happen?
Oh my gosh, Tom, we're actually late. What?
We are.
You are never late to close.
No,
Libby,
we'll be late to start, but
always
we'll.
late to start, never late to close. Good job keeping everybody engaged, Libby.
So there's some stuff going on in Detroit next week. Go to coreprofitbuilders.com events if you want to either live stream or attend live.
Are you guys traveling to all these places? I thought I traveled a lot, but that's a lot of travel.
Some. We
Yeah.
are traveling to this one live. Tom's next, the one in September, is in Charleston. So
It's
no,
it's in my backyard. It's at our office.
Nice.
So.
and some of them are live stream only. So, webinars, that kind of stuff. So, all right.
Libby, thank you. As always, you're awesome. This was fun. Can't wait till November. Can't wait till the book comes out.
Me too.
Yeah.
Libby, can you put me in a micro playbook for who to contact when things are launched? Because I need to be on that list. Contact list.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll let you know as soon as we get it together.
Oh, good. All right.
Oh, I have to say, it's an exhausting process to write a book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I 100% believe that. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
We're going to go ahead and call it a wrap. Do what?
What's happening next week? Because you're going to be, are you coming live on here? What's happening?
I don't know. We'll be doing something here this week or next week at 5:00 Eastern.
Something
Maybe
will
it'll
be
be
there,
live. Maybe it'll be a replay.
Hmm.
Who knows? It could be a best of, but
Oh, I do love that stuff.
we will have something. So
All
don't
right.
miss it.
Sounds
care.
good. Thanks,
Thank
Libby.
you, Libby.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.